In what areas of your life have you grown?
I've grown when it comes to personal responsibility, tolerance, and money management. When I say responsibility, I mean that no one is responsible for how I do in my classes or on my exams or if I do my homework except for me. In high school, I'd be able to say, oh, the teacher didn't tell me. It wasn't enough time. I didn't know. I don't remember, or something like that. But at USF, you don't really get the chance to say stuff like that because they give you a syllabus at the beginning of the semester with all your due dates on them. So when you get it, you're like, well, you're not required, but it's your responsibility to write down the due dates so that you remember and you know when they are, stuff like that. So that way, there's no way I can come up with an excuse saying that my professor didn't tell me or that I didn't know or something like that, and they won't accept those kind of excuses. My tolerance for people has also grown a lot since I've been here, mainly because of my roommate. She's like the complete opposite of me. She's really neat and organized, and she studies a lot, and like she's just nothing like me. And at first it was really hard to get along with her because like I don't really study that often and I'm not neat at all and I'm not used to sharing my room with people, so it was really weird. And she's a pre-med major and I'm like a sign language major, so they're like two different things and we just want different things in life, so it was kind of difficult. But now it's like the end of the semester and we've gotten better and we get along more because like we talked about it and we like realized that we have to like put up with each other for the whole semester, so we might as well get along. And now we're really good friends. Um, and like through that, I've learned to accept people for who they are and not just my first impression of them. Like to like really get to know someone. I've also grown when it comes to like managing my money because before I came to USF, I had a job where I was working like almost 30 hours a week and I was earning a pretty good amount of money, you know, being able to spend it whenever I want, how I want, and like I didn't really have to like think about where it was going because I'd get paid every 2 weeks. So I'd be like, oh well, I'm getting my paycheck next week, so I can go shopping, you know. But when I came here, I had to quit my job because it was too far of a drive every day, and I'd be spending more in gas than I would be earning. So there was just no point. But the problem was I was spending like I was still working, so it wasn't really calculating. It was imbalancing, and it was like quite a shock when I realized, like, I looked at my bank account and it was like, oh, you have like $5 left, and I was like, well, where the heck did all my money go? And that's when I realized that maybe I should be a little bit more careful with my money because I couldn't really account for where it had all gone, and I didn't really have any left. So it kind of sucked when I wanted to do something and I had no money.
Where did you succeed or fail?
Um, I succeeded. Well, first I succeeded in finishing the semester. To a lot of people, this wouldn't be a big accomplishment. They're like, "Oh, okay, I finished my first semester at college. You know, blah blah blah. That's so exciting." Not really, but for me, it's a pretty big accomplishment because I'm the first person in my family to like go to college and like make it. And like a lot of people in my family think that my sister should have gone instead of me because she's the smart one, and they like didn't really expect me to stay in college this long and finish my first semester with pretty good grades. And so it just feels good to prove them wrong and like be like, haha, I did it, and you thought I wouldn't, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's really where I succeeded the most. I failed in managing my time. So even though I like finished my semester, I definitely could have done a lot better because I didn't manage my time correctly. Because college is really different from high school. In high school, you have like your parents and your teachers telling you what to do, when to do it, when to wake up, where to go, what classes to go to, all this other stuff. But when you're here, you're basically on your own, and I wasn't really ready for this. I thought I was, but I wasn't as ready as I had expected because I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, well, instead of doing my homework, I'm gonna go eat or I'm gonna watch TV because I didn't have my mom like breathing down my neck, being like, do your homework now. Or my teachers reminding me every day, oh, the project's due tomorrow. Oh, that project's due next week. Blah blah. Remember this. Remember that. Professors don't really tell you to remember things in college, and like I didn't really study that much, and sometimes I just would forget to wake up, or I'd like hear my alarm clock and I'd press snooze and I'd be like, yeah, I'm just not gonna go to class today because I don't have anybody telling me to go to class, so I don't really want to. Um, I also failed at getting enough sleep and like staying healthy, which is something that I read that a lot of first year college students do. A couple weeks into the semester, I realized that like I wasn't really eating right, and it just like I was getting sick a lot. I wasn't feeling well. Not like sick, but like sick enough to where I was like, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do this, blah blah blah. But I just couldn't figure out why I was feeling that way. Then I realized that I wasn't like eating right and not working out as much as I had when I was home, and I wasn't getting enough sleep. Like I would have class at 9:30 in the morning, but I wouldn't go to sleep until like 4, so I'd only get like max 5 hours of sleep, and that's just not good. And I realized that I was going to like the student health services a lot, and like I usually don't go to the doctor because I'm pretty healthy, so it was like weird for me to be at the doctor that much. And that's when I realized that like okay, I need to like start eating better, working out, going to sleep, taking better care of myself. I still haven't really perfected going to sleep on time because it's kind of difficult sometimes, but I've gotten better at it, and I've been eating more fruits, drinking more water instead of like Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb because those are my two favorite drinks. And now I work out like I used to when I was home, like 3 times a day and stuff like that.
What did you like most about the class, and what did you like least?
Um, what I liked most about the class was that it was like really hands on, because like in most of my other classes, it was just a lecture hall with like 150, like 200 students, and we would just sit there and listen to the professor talk and talk on and on and on and on and on about the same thing. And they had a monotone voice, and it was just really boring and redundant, and I just lost track, or I'd fall asleep, or I'd leave early or something like that. But with this class, it was different. Like we had activities where we had to interact with um, the teacher or other students, and it was really cool that I got to know like other students in the class. It felt more like personal, and we had like interesting speakers that taught me a lot, and I like that. And sometimes we even got candy, and I love candy, so I thought that was really cool. What I didn't like about the class was something that's probably not going to change, but I didn't like the length. I felt like instead of once a week for like 3 hours, it would have been like more productive to go twice a week for like an hour and a half, because sometimes like the length would just get to me and my ADD would kick in, and I'd like get distracted by my phone, or I'd start drawing, or I'd look at things on the wall, and I just would lose focus, and then I'd get frustrated because I didn't know what the teacher was saying, and then it would just pile up. So yeah.
What strategies learned from this class have you incorporated into your daily lifestyle?
The main thing that I incorporate in my daily life is the My Strengths, because like I just thought it was really interesting to learn about that and learn how we could like use those to study better and help us with school, because I don't study very well. Like it's not my strength. I don't really know how to study, and when I found out like little activities that I could do to like play on my strengths that would help me study better. I used that a lot when it came to like finals and exams and stuff like that. And hopefully I'll be like able to use them throughout the whole 4 years, and I'm sure it'll help me a lot. So
What have you learned about yourself this semester?
I learned that I need to study when it comes to tests, because in high school, like I didn't really study that much, and I usually got pretty good grades. Like especially when it came to like a class I was really good at, or it just came easily to me, like psychology or English or something like that. But this year it was different because, um, like the tests are harder, and they don't want you to just memorize stuff and then like regurgitate it back on the exam. They want you to like know the stuff. And I realized this after my first psychology exam. I didn't study because I was like, oh, it's psychology. That's easy. I can just go to the class, take notes, and listen to the lectures, and I'll be fine. Um, but then I realized I was wrong because I didn't do very well on my test, and I was really upset because like psychology is like my favorite thing, and I felt bad that I didn't do as well as I probably could have. So from then on, I studied for every test that I had, not just in psychology, but with like other classes, and I've done a lot better.
What have you learned about others?
I learned that not everyone can study the way I study. Because I have ADD, when I study, I can't have like a lot of things distracting me when I'm trying to get stuff done, or else like I'll like get distracted by it, and then I'll never get anything done, or it'll take me like 6 hours when it should have taken me an hour. Like I have to have the TV off, music off, and I just like, especially when I'm like trying to do a paper or something, like I can't have people like talk to me, or else I'll be like, oh yeah, that time, blah blah, and I'll just go off on a conversation with them. Um, but my roommate, like I said before, is like the opposite of me. She's not that way. She likes to have music playing. She likes to have the TV on. She likes to talk to people and ask questions and stuff like that. Um, and it like created some problems at the beginning of the semester, but we worked through it, and we found ways to like share the room so that we can both study when we needed to, so that we both got the best grades that we could.
What would you tell other students about this course?
I would tell them that if you're like nervous about your first year in college or your first semester, like being able to manage your time, money, or meeting new people, or anything like that, it's a really good course for you, because it really introduces you to your first year in college and gives you a lot of advice on like money and time and people and how to get involved and all this kind of stuff. And I've learned a lot. It also helped me learn a lot about myself. So if you want to learn more about yourself, then this is a really good class to take.
Why did you not complete your project before the due date?
I didn't complete my project on time because I was so overwhelmed with other projects that were due, and the fact that finals were coming up, because this was due like the Friday before finals. And I was just so stressed because I like, even though I took summer semester, we didn't have finals, so I was just stressing out. I was like, oh, I have to do good on this test, and don't forget you have this test at this time, and like it just completely slipped my mind. And I know that's not an excuse, like I said earlier, because we get due dates at the beginning of the semester, but I was just so overwhelmed. So it was kind of hard for me to, I guess I just lost focus because I was worried about passing all my finals so that I did good in all my classes. So I really forgot about everything except for those three tests. Next time I'll know that I need to like better prioritize my time and probably write down due dates more often, because then it'll help me remember. And that's it.